who's joined us. Morgan Rogers, great to see you. Oh, thank you so much for taking time, because I imagine it's incredible in there in the dressing room. We've had to drag you out. Just sum up, how was that? What was that like?
Yeah, it was surreal. The atmosphere, the occasion, just everything about it. Playing the biggest team and one of the biggest teams in the world, and just competing out there like we did. I think we had like 12 men out there with the fans and stuff. It was just amazing.
I just think it's wild that as late as January you were playing in the Championship, and now you've started every Premier League game, every Champions League game, and just beat Bayern Munich here. That your last sort of 6 months or so has been incredible. How have you taken that all in?
Yeah, it's been a bit mad. That's how quick football can change. I've always believed in myself, always believed in my ability, and it's just about patience and having the right people around you, and being patient, and you know your time will come. And luckily I found a manager that trusted me, that believed in me, and when I came here he kind of took me under his wing and tried to improve me, and I'm only getting better and better, so it's all thanks to him.
Which ways, give us a bit of intel in terms of which ways has he tried to kind of unlock you, and what kind of information has he been giving you to kind of get the performances you're seeing? Because the way that you've been like running at teams, carrying the ball, I said before the game, one of the best ball carriers in the league this season, no doubt.
Yeah, it's about playing confident, really. I think I was probably a bit in my shell when I first came, just trying to fit in, and he tells me to take touches on the ball, to drive, to commit. Most of the time he's telling me off, he's passing too early, so he wants me to commit, he wants me to drive and show what I'm about. So he just gives me that confidence and that belief in my ability to go and show what I can do. And of course I'm not always going to get it right, but I know that I've got a manager there that's trusting me and behind me.
We saw today that the first time when the ball turned over, your first instinct as a team from all departments was to play forward. Was that a big instruction before the game, given the way that tactically Bayern set up?
Yeah, we know Bayern, that they press man for man all over the pitch, and especially when they lose the ball, they all swarm towards the ball. So it's about getting the ball forward quickly. We've got all up front who he just runs the channels all day. You know what he's like, and we were trying to get him in behind and try and get him to feet, and then kind of play off there. And we know we can be a threat on the counter. We also know we can play football like we do in the league, but we knew they were going to have more of the ball, so it was about hitting on the counter when we could, really, and we tried to do as much as possible.
Was that one of the big things today, that you knew they were going to have more possession and just being patient? Because obviously, you know, when a Bayern team comes here, you're going to have to be patient, you're going to have to defend as a team. So was that one of the things that you realised in the week, that building up to the game, that you knew you had to hit them on the break, and when you did, you hit them quick?
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of giving up certain areas and allowing them to have the ball in certain areas, but you know when the ball goes into midfield, we know got to be at it, and they've got players that can kill any team in the world on their day. So we knew that we had to probably give up some areas, give up some possession, but we knew that we could hurt them on the counter. We didn't come here to let them just have it at all. We wanted to go and attack as well, and not just sit back.
Morgan, I know that every player wants to start every game, obviously, but you guys must have conversations with John now, saying that you are a secret weapon coming off the bench and scoring screamers.
I don't think it's a secret anymore.
You are our most obvious weapon off the bench, scoring screamers, and he just keeps doing it again and again. And the way he does it, some of them are so audacious, the way that he finishes them, and specifically that finish today, to have the quick thought process that you guys were talking about too. What was it like watching him in action?
First and foremost, when he first came to the club, I didn't have a clue he was 20, by the way. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, mental. The way he plays is he's such a handful for defenders, and especially when he comes on with 15, 20, 25 to go and he's got all that energy, he's a handful for anyone. And his ability, you can see, he scored 6-7 goals this season, probably like 4 or 5 winners. He knows he's going to get that chance, and he backs himself 100%, and we know he's going to finish it. Yeah, he's a great lad.
He seems quite unbothered about anything. He was out here chatting to us before the game comes to the Aston, just chatting like normal. You think Champions League, the music, hairs on the back of your neck standing up. He's just like, no, this is cool for me.
No, every other game is exactly the same. Most chilled, relaxed person I've ever met. But when it's time to go, he's a different animal. He unleashes a different willpower inside of him, and
What about you? Champions League football, you've grown up, you listen to that music, you see it, you probably play it on FIFA and whatnot. To come out here and do that in a game like this of this magnitude against a team like Bayern, what does that do for you inside, getting the chemicals moving?
That's why I play football. This is the pinnacle of football, playing in this competition. It means everything to me to get here, but it's just a start for me. I want to kick on, I want to get better and better, and we're not here to just compete, we're here to try and win games. And it's a pinch me moment, but I'm involved in it. I've got no time to to sit and dwell on it. I've got to keep going and try and improve it and try and win the game.
You certainly put down a marker tonight, for sure. Can you clear something up for me? Did Cole Palmer nick your celebration? Is that true?
Yeah, it's true.
Did he?
Yeah, it's true.
Right, he's run with it as well.
Yeah.
You've let him run with it.
No,
You need to start scoring some goals here to make
Cheeky
sure.
boy, hasn't he? Yeah, he's run with it. But, I'll let him have it. He scored 40 goals. It's stupid. I can't really argue with that, can I?
He's doing it right, isn't he? What is the reaction like in there, by the way? What's everyone saying to each other?
Yeah, wild. Madness, yeah, it was a bit crazy at first, but then the manager straight away was talking about Sunday, about United, about on Sunday, so
what are you saying then? What are we saying? What are we saying, man?
The next biggest game. We always reiterate about the Premier League. The Premier League got us here. It got us in the Champions League. That we want to win the Champions League games, but the Premier League's the most important thing, and that's what gets you to play in games like this. So back to the drawing board. I know we've got a few probably tired bodies, but we go again on Sunday and we try and win the game.
Wow, you must have so much adrenaline and motivation after that. Hey, look, we'll let you go. Send our love to your dad as well, Howard.
Thank you.
We loved meeting him at Young Boys.
Thank you.
Lovely to meet you as well. Take care. Enjoy your win. Enjoy the night. Wow.
Laura,
Yes?
Ash, I didn't speak like that. You didn't speak like that when we were players.
Never. I've only just started speaking like this, and he's just come out.
Still working on it. You're still working on it.
Exactly.
Do you know what? I knew you were going to pick that up because, like, when we speak to people like Jude Bellingham, we always go, "Wow, aren't I articulate?" And I just thought he was as well. I just really enjoy his interviews, and look, he's got time for his fans as well. He must be going through the most incredible part of his career. Vincent Kompany coming out and saying, "Thanks for that, mate." A nice loss for me.
They would have known each other,
Bayern
wouldn't they?
Munich.
He come through the academy at City.
Yeah, they would have.
Yeah.
They would have. That's the thing. He's not spending too much time with him, though, because I imagine Vincent Kompany's got a few people to speak to, and he's probably quite disappointed, and so he should be. First loss of the season for them, and just such a huge win for Aston Villa. And you're right, players like that, I love how articulate they are, but look, he does the talking on the pitch, doesn't he? He's just such a revelation. He's just been so impressive so far, actually.
I think, since he signed it, like he said, he was quiet, he was shy, and speaking to the boys that were here, they were saying that's the way he come in, but I think, like you say, he's doing his talking on the pitch, and that's the only place to do it. He's growing in stature. Him standing there beside me, he's massive.
Yes,
but you know what it is? He's been fantastic for the club since he's come in and getting assists, getting goals. He brings that energy. He brings abundance of, youthful talent, and it rubs off on everyone else, and it gets everyone up the pitch. And when you've got a player full of confidence like that, playing in the Champions League, like you say, in his last year, he's gone from there, he's gone to there, and he's just producing. That's what you need from him.
Absolutely. All right, guys, don't go anywhere because we're going to hit Zone as well, scoring that wonder goal. Loving Neuer, and then coming over to speak to these two, and a big hug there for Ashley. What was he saying, Ashley?
So Ashley owes him some money, he said. That's what he was saying.
He was calling me his grandfather. I said to him, listen, I'm not that old. No, I was just talking to him about the goal and the finish, and just tell him to keep doing what he's doing.
Yeah? Did he say he saw the keeper?
He actually said that he didn't look. He was looking for Upamecano, but we thought that he actually looked at the keeper. But he actually said that he was looking for the defender. He didn't look for the goalkeeper, and he's just had a shot. And to be honest, that's him really around that yardage out.
Wow.
He takes shots non-stop. Like I said to him before, we played him at Everton, that normally it'd end up in the stands. But tonight again, he's obviously had the shot tonight out from that distance, and it's gone in for him. So
what it tells you there as well, he's a player living off confidence there as well. He's got 6 goals, only 1 start, but he's almost like, I don't care, just get me on the pitch at some point, I will get you a goal, because the instinct just kicks in there. And he said there to us before, I don't need to see the goalkeeper, I know where the goal is.
Yeah.
That's what he said. So, and he's a young kid who seems like he thrives off these big occasions, these big moments, and just wants to come in and take responsibility.
Does he give Unai Emery a bit of a decision to make? Because if you keep scoring goals off the bench, at some point does Unai go, maybe I should start him and see what happens? Or do you keep him like that?
I think when you got Ollie, and Ollie's scoring as well, and I think that Unai's tried before to put them both in the team, and it's just not worked. So it's, I think where it's working for John to be coming off the bench and doing what he's doing, I think if Ollie goes for a spell where he's not scoring or not assisting, then you might be able to change it up. And there's so many games coming up this season, they're going to have to share the load.
It's a lovely problem though, isn't it?
You wouldn't mind as well, if you were him, you wouldn't mind, like, you'd rather live for that moment, wouldn't you, then start, or would you? I don't know, you tell me.
Come in, man.
I think coming on like that.
Oh, Vin, hello, how you doing? Great to see you come in.
How you doing, bro?
Coming on like that, he's gonna want to. How are you? Okay. He's going to want to come off the bench and score them moments.
Don't say that in front of Vincent. Vincent, thank you so much for joining us. I imagine quite a difficult loss for you, but just tell me what you made of that game as a whole.
I think the analysis for me is pretty simple. I thought the first 15 minutes we started well. It was bright, some runs in behind, 1v1s, and then it looked like this was going to be a good night for us. And then just for half an hour, first half, we just dropped the level a little bit. Tempo on the ball was slower. We didn't make as many runs. And then it wasn't that we conceded big chances, but you could feel like Villa was smelling a bit of blood, which we then took out completely in the second half. So in that sense, we did much better in the second half. And then we missed some big chances and they scored the chance.
You guys play with a lot of high risk the way you play, really high press, obviously leave players at the back, big spaces. Was that something you looked at, knowing that Ollie Watkins, that's something in an area that he thrives upon, playing in the big areas? 1v1 is something, you as a centre-back, me as a centre-back, I'm thinking, well, right, Upamecano's got a tough job, gets a yellow card. Was that something you was worried about or concerned you at any point in the game?
Ollie Watkins has so many qualities to mention, but one of his qualities as well is to split two centre-backs, take that place in the middle, drop a shoulder and go from there. So that doesn't make him less dangerous when all of a sudden he's marked by two. The point was for us more to not let Villa come into the game and to try and impose our game, because we had a lot of the ball, and when we have the ball we're dangerous. But they're a strong team, and this place is not an easy place, and therefore I don't think that the performance was perfect, but it wasn't a bad performance. And we had chances, we had chances.
Keeper played well. How are you finding management? You've gone to Germany, it's a magnificent club, huge expectation and responsibilities. How are you finding that now?
It's football.
It's no different.
It's the same job everywhere. It's obviously it's a privilege. It's so much tradition, history. People really feel so proud about this club, and you work with top players, so that's of course enjoyable. But in the end, I can't score the goals, so my role is really to try and give them pleasure to play, wanting to become better every day, and then the desire to win. So. But that is everywhere. I don't think you should make a distinction for any job you have.
Could have been different tonight. One of those chances that you were talking about, Serge Gnabry, when he could have crossed it to Harry Kane. Harry Kane looking incredibly frustrated. I wanted to ask you on a personal level, having played against Harry Kane in your career and managed against him as well at Burnley, what's he like now that he's under your wing, and how much of a professional is he?
Yeah, obviously I knew him from playing against him, but he's impressed me. And he's also evolved. He's better than when I played against him. And I think he scored 11 or 15 goals already this season. Okay, today he didn't. But I don't think he's someone that's ever stood still. He's always kept improving, and his game has changed from back then. And he's going to score many goals again this season.
And I saw you have a moment there with Morgan Rogers at the end.
Yeah.
You obviously know him from the City Academy.
Yeah.
Could you see him growing into the player that
and when we tried to sign a lot of players at Burnley,
Was he one of them, yeah?
Oh, yeah. There's a few. There was a few today on the pitch, actually, for Aston Villa. So it just shows it's football, right? We were all in the Championship playing against each other, battling it out, and now we're in the Champions League and on the main stage. But I think it's the recipe for everyone. We've lost today. We've got to take the learnings from this. It doesn't decide the competition, this defeat. So we keep going.
And Vincent, your first loss of the season, and you've been doing pretty well so far with Bayern Munich. So great to see you. Nice to have you back over here as well. And we'll see you again very soon. Thank you for joining us as well. Thank you so much.
Good luck, man. Take care.
Enjoy the rest of your night. Great to see you, Vinny. Take care. Thank you.
You know what? It's nice to see a manager come out and speak. When it's difficult as a player, let alone as a manager, to come out and speak and kind of front it. And I think probably because they had a lot of ball possession and they had their chances as well, it makes it maybe a little bit easier to do that as well.
Because how difficult is it when he was saying there were so many chances that Bayern Munich had, but Emi Martinez was just on fire tonight, and we've said it before, it's almost like he loves the occasion, doesn't he? And he knows exactly when to step up.
That is exactly what Emi is about. He loves these type of occasions, and you see here, it's late on in the game to produce a save in that way. It's fantastic. That's what he was paid to do, but you see the celebrations after the game and the way that he celebrates saving the ball. He just loves it. He's a goalkeeper that just loves saving it.
The best keepers have big personalities as well. He's got that. He's huge. I think he's one of those players. He wants to be involved in the game, and the more he have to make saves, the happier he is. Late on in the game, huge save, huge moment in the game, and he lives and breathes for that. And this guy has won multiple trophies at international level, and as I said, he's a player who looks at these type of games and it doesn't ever feel too big for him.
Yeah, they're different types of characters, aren't they, goalkeepers?
Yeah,
Don't they?
weirdos.
Yeah,
They're
they are.
weird. They're
They're
weird.
I wasn't going to say that.
Yeah, they're weird, man.
You ever met a normal one?
Edwin van der
I've
Sar.
never met one normal.
Edwin was normal, man. He was. Ash, come on.
I'm not sure.
David De Gea was not. No, David De Gea's music choices were horrendous.
Oh yeah.
Why? What's
worst.
that thing?
Slipknot and mad music like that, like crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Dad
Yeah,
is a Slipknot man.
Yeah,
Really?
crazy.
Yeah.
How interesting.
Slipknot, but not moving when he's listening to it. How mad's that?
Oh, that's a bit weird.
That's weird, isn't it?
In a dark room.
Oh, we weren't in a dark room. No, we weren't.
That's completely throwing me off. What are we doing? Speaking to Unai Emery?
Yeah, I think we got to go there. We got to go there.
Shall we hear
Yeah, I
from
think we
Unai
should.
Emery? Right, let's speak to him. He's with Jules Breach.
Unai, we've been so desperate to talk to you, but we know you've been kept by Aston Villa superfan Prince William. Does that just go to show how special tonight's win was?
Good evening. Yes, of course. I told him the best moment we can pass is days like today, and try to enjoy the way, because when you are getting at the end, I don't know where, but everything we are doing in the way, every day, every matches, try to enjoy it, to enjoy the way. And today winning, of course, how we played and against who team we played, and of course in Champions League after 42 years ago, the final, remembering it, of course, was a special day. But like I told you before the match, we want to keep it for a long time, something like being consistent to play in Europe, hopefully, and against the best team like today.
And once again, you have John Duran to thank for another unbelievable goal. What are you doing with him that's allowing him to keep coming on as a substitute and keep scoring you special goals?
We are working with him, but the most important is his attitude and his commitment now with us. Really, he changed a lot his mind. And he's available to play 90 minutes, play 60 minutes, play 30 minutes, and he's been focusing each minute he's playing. And like today, of course, we had two very good strikers, and the work did today Watkins before against their central back, especially with Upamecano, was really a tough match, tough rival. A lot of duels he had, and the last 20 minutes was very good moment. Tried to do something more, adding this work with John Duran, and of course scoring goal like he scored was really fantastic for him, for the team, for everybody.
And with the amount of attacking threat that Bayern Munich have, you must be so proud of the way your team defended out there today to be able to keep a clean sheet as well.
Yes, against teams like that and players they have, it's very important defensively to be strong. Try to fix their special attacking players very well, like we did today. Of course, Emiliano Martinez, amazing job, amazing saves he did. Of course, today the match played Diego Carlos and Consa was fantastic. And other players as well, but especially both players, because I think they needed improve playing together in the right side like they did today, and especially Consa dueling individually with one very good winger like they have, and of course was fantastic their performance for the team and for themselves.
Does it feel like a statement win against one of the favourites in the Champions League?
We have to try to play each match thinking those 3 points we achieved today, and of course with 6 points we are now in the table. We are going to play against Bologna at home again the next match, and we are not refusing. The objective of course is try to play the next round, but we have to try to be demanding ourselves, to try to compete against the best team like today, face them, and we compete very well. We won. Deserve or not more, I think we compete like we needed to compete to win one match like against Bayern Munich, and then try to be demanding in our way to get next round, and if we can win the next match, maybe we can get the first 8th position in the table, and of course we are going to add this objective in case we can.
Congratulations on a brilliant win.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Happy manager there, and one player playing for an unhappy manager tonight, Michael Elise, knows these two very well, and has just become He always was a good player, but really is turning into an excellent player, but on the wrong side of the score tonight, losing for Bayern Munich here at Villa Park. Look, a great night for Villa, great night as well for Unai Emery too, and a good interview there. Look, we know what he can do, so I think now, probably not surprised that he can orchestrate something like that, Rio.
Not at all. I mean, listen, his career, his distinguished career, 4 Europa League titles he's won. Like, the guy knows his way around Europe. He knows his way how to compete at the top level. And I think he cultivates an environment, a culture at a football club. He does that. Ash, you've been there, you've seen it. There's discipline, but there's standards, there's expectations, and there's detail, attention to detail. You see that the way his team's set up with the ball, without the ball, and they're a threat. So he's got a team that have belief now, and they're a dangerous team now, very dangerous.
Bayern Munich as well, of course, a loss for them tonight, but the players and the talent, like Elisa, you just saw there, that they've got in their team, and a good manager. It's not going to hold them back for too long, is it, this loss?
The manager, when he came out there and he was saying that, we've lost the game of football tonight, but that's not going to dictate what's going to happen for the rest of the Champions League.
Yeah.
They'll get back to winning ways, I'm sure, straight away. And like you say, they've got so much talent throughout that squad, and they're a massive club that will be looking to bounce straight back from that, and I'm sure they will do from coming up this weekend.
Yeah. All right, a couple of really good days actually of Champions League football for match day 2. Let's just completely update you if you've missed anything with the results yesterday, and of course the results tonight as well. And big one for Arsenal, 2-0 win over Paris Saint-Germain. By Barcelona, they're putting 5 past Young Boys, and Dortmund was 7 past Celtic. Really bad night for Celtic last night. And you can see as well tonight's results, just to confirm. Villa with a 1-0 win against Bayern Munich. It was a big loss actually for Real Madrid, their first this season. They have lost 1-0 to Lille. Brilliant night for Lille with a penalty around half-time. And then Liverpool with a 2-0 win over Bologna. Let's have a little look at what it means then and how it all pans out in this all-new format that we're seeing in the Champions League so far this season. You can see on the left, they're the ones in the qualifying positions that will straight out qualify 8 of those teams, and 7 of them have got perfect records so far. The ones in the middle, the 2 ones, those 2 columns are in the knockout stages so far, and then the far right, as it stands, the ones that get eliminated. But obviously all of that could change, it could be completely different. So that's how it stands so far.